Do you sometimes find that your frustration with unsuccessfully copying the figure pose in your drawing leads you to so much frustration that you actually stop sketching for periods of time? I understand the sense of desperation this can lead to, because I've been there too. Hey there, I'm Mike. I'm a former Walt Disney animation artist. Yep, I had the privilege of working on some of the greatest animated films of all time, and also the incredibly good fortune to learn how to draw the human figure dynamically from Disney legends Walt Stanchfield and Glenn Vilppu. I know you love sketching the human figure, but sometimes they come out looking rigid and lifeless. Before we continue with this video, I want to put something really valuable into your hands that is going to make a big difference in your figure sketches right away. It's a completely free PDF called 7 Principles in 7 Days to Bring Your Figure Drawings to Life. And it includes so much of the wisdom that I gained from my Disney training with Walt and Glenn. So if all that sounds great to you, click on the link in the first comment below this video, or go to www.thesketchexperience.com/7principles7days to get your free sketching guide. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you'll get notified about my next video. So let's get started. You may have tried different solutions to alleviate this frustration, which most often is to strive even more for perfection and to try to be even more accurate. It only creates a negative loop, leading to a deeper frustration and even periods where you stop drawing altogether. I've been there. So yes, perfection paralysis is a real thing. But like always, there is hope. If you stick around until the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer understanding about why you're so stressed about drawing the figure, and you'll get some specific useful tips that you can put into practice right away and see the changes in your figure drawings and your attitude about your drawings. You know, something I didn't realize until years after I left the Disney studio was that Walt Stanchfield didn't really teach us how to draw. He taught us how to think about drawing and about ourselves doing it. In my classes that I teach over the years, that I've taught over the years, when I share some of Walt's words of wisdom, which they really were words of wisdom, I've seen my students light up and also open up their minds to Walt's words and his encouragements. And ironically, when my students let go, and myself too, when they let go of all that heavy stuff they were carrying around, their drawings get more dynamic and interesting and lose their rigidity. So it wasn't me doing it for them, and it wasn't even Walt doing it for me or for my students. It was each of them doing it for themselves. Sometimes all we need is an invitation. So one of the things that I recommend a lot is to sketch in short periods of time. Instead of trying to force yourself to draw for hours at a time, I don't recommend that. I think it's more productive to draw in shorter bursts of time more often. So this is why carrying and drawing in a sketchbook, like a small sketchbook like this fits in my back pocket, is so great, because it gives us those opportunities to have those short bursts of really fun sketching. To say that Walt Stanchfield was a positive person would be a huge understatement. He was Mr. Positivity, and it rubbed off on a lot of us, including me. One thing Walt often said was that we should not speak or think negatively about our drawings. Let's look together at one of his notes from the compilation Drawn to Life. It's a 2-book series, volume 1, and it's note 23, and it's called Animation and Sketching. So I want to read a little bit of this together because there's some really important points here. So Walt starts off talking about energy, the energy that we need to live. Where is it all going to come from? And he makes the point that sketching is a positive activity that generates energy. I just love that. And I believe it's true. Later, he makes the important point I highlighted here in pink. He says about the sketches that we make in our sketchbooks, we should not think or speak negatively about them. And that's easier said than done. I'm often very critical of my drawings, and it definitely takes effort to stay positive about them, but we can do it with practice. The third step I want you to take for yourself, to draw for yourself, for your own enjoyment. Have fun and experiment in the present moment of making your sketch. You don't need to do it for anyone else, real or imagined. Walt Stanchfield was the first teacher I ever had who said drawing should be fun. Wow, what a concept. I never entered my mind since I was a kid. So this is the first teacher as an adult who said that. It was like, blew my mind. Until then, I had been taking it too seriously. I had lost my childlike enjoyment of it, and I worried whether the next drawing I did would be worthy to go in my portfolio. If it ever ends up in a portfolio, it will get there for the right reason. Not because it is a coldly perfect, accurate drawing, but because it shows the fun and enthusiasm you felt while you were making it. So there's nothing wrong with having a portfolio or making a portfolio, but if that is the motivation, if that's in the front or back of your mind as you're making a drawing, a figure drawing, it's going to affect your state of mind, and you're going to tighten up. That's the third, and I think probably the most challenging thing to put into action about this idea of letting go of this perfectionism is to do it for yourself. And I think once you start getting into that, you'll find that it will just grow and grow and grow. The purpose of these ideas and practical tips is to help you to be kinder to yourself as you draw, to be really in the moment of being interested in the figure pose you're sketching, and to try to not get ahead of yourself, already being there in your mind at the finish line, holding up your perfect drawing. Instead, being present in the moment, experimenting, seeing how it goes, making changes as you go. Get yourself a small sketchbook if you don't already have one, and then take it everywhere you go. And sketch in it, scribble in it, not caring and not judging what comes out of it, what you do. So, let me know in the comments when you've gotten your small sketchbook and how it feels making your first judgment-free scribble sketches. If you've enjoyed and gotten something out of this video, that makes me very happy, and it means you'll want to check out this video next. And please hit the share button to let others know about it, and remember the subscribe button so you'll be sure to be notified when I put out the next one. See you in the next video.